Hello, everyone. Welcome to our group's presentation of social linguistics in language teaching. This is a conclusive presentation on a mini research. Our topic of this research is: Will people be evaluated by accents? Before we begin, allow me to introduce our group members. My name is Wan Qianzhi, and we also have Zheng Qiuyan, Wang Jiahao, Wang Yuting, and Chen Lizheng. Here is our table of contents. Firstly, we will go through the background of the entire research, and then we will see the methodology. After that, we come to the most important key part, which is the findings. And finally, we conclude all the research and this presentation. Okay, to begin, let's have a quick look at the background. In everyday communication, accents are completely natural markers of our unique geographic and cultural background. However, real world communication often involves subtle linguistic prejudice, where people judge a speaker's traits based entirely how they sound like. This behavior is exactly what our research are exploring. We set out to investigate two core things. First, whether a person's accent shapes an audience's first impression of their trustworthiness. And secondly, if a distinctive accent poses a hidden disadvantage in high stakes professional settings, like job interviews and academic presentations. Okay, after knowing what this research is all about, now we come to see the methodology. To gather authentic, real-time opinions on language bias, we chose a qualitative, impromptu approach. Our team conducted a face-to-face street interview around the Pusanika area at UCAM. And this is a place, as we all know, this is a place where a lot of people passes by or gather together. So we randomly stopped passes by and interviewed a total of 8 respondents. Before we actually start recording, we obtained a formal verbal consent from each participant, and all of them kindly agreed to be in the video and share their views. Afterward, we transcribed the recordings and analyzed the data by directly categorizing the respondents' verbal answers under our core interview questions. This structure helped us clearly map out the community's social linguistic trends and the points. Okay, now we are coming to the most important part, which is the findings. We will start with the accent awareness and self-perception stage. We broke this down into 3 small sections: general awareness, specific language detection, and the last one, other universal recognition. First, general awareness. All of our respondents admitted that they immediately detect an accent when someone speaks. Across multiple languages like English, Malay, and any other languages. Most of the respondents also showed a high self awareness. They admitted that they might also have accents when they are speaking certain languages. Next one, specific language detection. Respondents noted that they can easily identify distinct variations, such as picking up a Chinese accent in English, meaning that they might directly figure out, oh, these people might be from China because they are speaking an English with a heavy Chinese accent. Or other than that, they can also instantly realize someone that is maybe not local when listening to a Malay. Last one, the other universal recognition. We found that accent awareness is deeply tied to geographic identity. For example, our respondent from East Malaysia, specifically Sarawak and Sabah, were highly conscious that their geographical background gives them a very distinct, noticeable accent when speaking Malay compared to the West Malaysians. Okay, now we come to the second stage of the findings. This is at this stage we are focusing on the professional impact and the workplace disadvantages. So let's look at the first one, understanding standard. Most of our respondents emphasized that as long as a speech is clear and can be understood, the accents should not be considered as a disadvantage. One of our respondent, Mifit, uh, he pointed out that since everyone has an accent in English, why why not we do not see it as an obstacle? Well, one of our other respondent, Max, noted that issues will only arise if a heavy accent is affecting other people's comprehension. However, under the standard English standards, real biases appear. Norkman, one of our interviewees, observed that individuals who speak what society labels professional English, meaning speech without a heavy regional accent English, will often get preferably treatment during presentations, and they are perceived as more likable by the audience and the interviewers. And this connects directly to our last section of this stage, the bias and the stereotype. While we want to focus purely on clarity and fairness, our respondent Elif candidly admitted that job seekers with heavy regional accents, they do face real disadvantages in professional meetings simply because of deep-rooted social stereotypes and accent biases. The last stage of our findings are looking at social judgment, identity, and discrimination. And we break them into first impressions and language adaptation. First, about the first impression and trust. Opinions varies. Some of our respondents tried not to judge character by sound, but there are others admitted that clear, confident expression naturally creates a more trustworthy first impression of a speaker. It was also noted that certain accents are favored because society pairs them with higher education levels. Secondly, the language adaptation. Some of the respondents actively changed their voices just to fit in certain environments. One of our respondents named Max, who is from Sabah, he shared a very interesting uh, experience of his. He shared that West Malaysians sometimes mistake his accent, that they may misconsider his accent as Indonesian, not Malaysian. So, to avoid being seen as misidentified or even weird, he consciously switches to a KL accent when he's staying in KL, changing back only when meeting Sabahans. And meanwhile, Norkman, one of our other respondents, similarly noted seeing urban students actively trying to hide their regional state accent to avoid social friction. All right, and all of that bring us to the conclusion. Our mini research demonstrates that people are indeed evaluated by their accents in everyday academic and professional environments. Even though we try to judge others solely on character and speech clarity, deep social biases and a preference for professional language remain. This unfortunate reality forces individuals to even change their natural voices just to escape from unfair judgment. In education field, these findings show a critical need to move away from rigid native speaker ideals to regional conformity in language assessments. Instead, the institutions have to prioritize functional intelligibility, celebrate language inclusivity, and actively train both students and assessors to reduce unconscious biases and discriminations during presentations. To close this presentation, I want to leave everyone with an important appeal. Let us actively work to treat everyone fairly, regardless of how they sound. We need to reduce our everyday discrimination and drop our prejudice against those who do not speak a textbook standard language. An accent is a beautiful reflection of a person's roots and identity, even his background cultures. By choosing to value the actual substance of what someone is saying over rigid linguistic conformity, we would build a much more inclusive and equitable society. And that is all from our presentation. Thank you so much for listening.